Good morning, everyone, from Pirate Field on the campus of Pearl High School in Pearl, Mississippi. More mid-Mississippi baseball tournament action as the Sumrall Bobcats go up against the Faith Academy Rams out of Mobile, Alabama. Faith Academy comes in with a 6-0 record, Sumrall 4-0. So one of these teams will experience defeat today for the first time in the 2018 season. Kelly Sanner along with producer engineer Jeremy Thompson. Let's take a look at the Bobcats who are wearing their grays today. They will serve as the visiting team. Zane Berry will lead off and play second base. Dennis Jackson moves up from the bottom of the order up into the 2-hole this morning playing center field. Graham Crawford, the Bobcat catcher, will bat third. Billy Garrity playing third base today. He played first base last night. Garrity playing third, batting fifth. Mason Story in his familiar position at first base. He bats sixth. And then the Sumrall order is rounded out with Tanner Morgan, the shortstop, batting seventh. Javen Williams, the right fielder, who had a key double last night in the victory over Madison Ridgeland Academy. Williams bats eighth, and Logan Powell, the left fielder for the Rawcats, bats ninth. So again, for Sumrall, it's Berry, Jackson, Crawford, Garrity, Barrett, Story, Morgan, Williams, and Powell.
Leading off for the Rams will be number 6, right fielder Jackson Bell.
So Zane Berry leading it off for Sumrall in the top of the first inning. Here we go. First pitch to Berry is a strike from pitcher Braxton Bell. Braxton Bell, the starting
Zane Berry, second baseman for Sumrall.
Bell ahead in the count. 0-1, just underway. This is the first of two games today for Sumrall. The Bobcats are scheduled to play at 3 o'clock this afternoon over at the beautiful Northwest Rankin Field. They will play a team from Huntsville, Alabama, completing their trip to the Mid-Mississippi Classic. Swung on. There's a little looper to shortstop. Gloved easily. Berry barreled it up, but a line out. One up and one down for the Bobcats, and here comes Dennis Jackson. Dennis Jackson, the all-everything wide receiver, who last time we checked, there's a swung on ground ball right back to the pitcher. Bell will have to find the handle, throw over to first base, and it was able to be dug out of the dirt. Nice play over there by Jackson. Or looking at the lineup here for the Rams, Michael Garcia digs that out at first base. So 2 up and 2 down on the 1-3 put out.
Number 34, Graham Crawford.
So here's Crawford now, the catcher for Sumrall, righty versus lefty. First pitch is outside, ball one. No wind to speak of. The sun's smiling. A beautiful, beautiful day here in mid-Mississippi. Not a cloud in the sky, an expected high of about 73 today. Haven't seen this in the last 3 or 4 weeks. Great day for baseball. Bell's second pitch is off speed and on the corner for a strike. 1-1 now to the Sumrall catcher. And now some arm problems. It looks like Braxton Bell has pulled himself off of the mound and he grabbed his elbow. Well, that certainly isn't a good sign this early in the year. So we've got a break in the action. Steve Cooley representing Sumrall over there in this discussion. As you can see down here on the first base line, Larry Knight now coming over a little bit from his coaching box, wanting to know what's going on, but it was pretty obvious. Pitchers know when something blows like that, and so we'll have a pitching change this early in the game for the Rams. And it's jersey number 30 for Faith Academy, of which I don't have a 30 on their roster. So, in a rather awkward broadcast moment, we've not been provided with any information as to who number 30 is. So the unknown pitcher We can tell you, obviously, he's left-handed. And we'll have to see how the Rams will juggle their lineup now with Braxton Bell, who was scheduled to hit third. So we'll find out what the situation is here. Top of the first inning, Sumrall's first two hitters went up and down rather quietly. But as soon as he threw two pitches to Graham Crawford, starting pitcher Braxton Bell pulled himself out of the lineup and walked to the dugout, knowing that something had happened to his arm. And you hate to make predictions, but just about every kid I've ever seen that's had Tommy John surgery or blown his elbow or something, and we certainly hope that is not the case. So our research staff trying to figure out who the unknown pitcher is for Faith Academy. Those of you that are with us from Mobile, or those of you supporting the Bobcats, give us a text on our text line at 601-310-7077. To check in to the contest today, we'll give you a shout out and let everybody know who you're cheering for today. When you look at this Ram roster, there's a lot of Bells on this team. Bell must be a very popular name in that area, as we have some in Lamar County, popular last names. So the lefty comes in for the starter, Braxton Bell, here in the top of the first inning. The Rams obviously serving as the home team in this game. Sumrall was a winner last night as the home team, winning it in the bottom of the seventh inning. If you missed last night, dramatic comeback. Sumrall scored 6 in the sixth and 1 in the seventh. Or check that, 5 in the sixth, 1 in the seventh to win it, against a Madison Ridgeland Academy team which had won earlier in the day. Because this left-hander has not had any time to warm up, Jaden Brown is the pitcher's name. Thank you for that info. So Jaden Brown comes in after just 2 outs in the first inning. And what's problematic for the Ram lineup is Braxton Bell, the pitcher, was hitting for himself in the 3-hole. So we'll see if they make a straight-up player-for-player exchange there. So they'll huddle up and let the pitcher know about his situation here. Base is empty, 2 outs. Steve Cooley going over some last-minute instructions as the switch hitting Crawford now will turn around and bat from the right side. And there was a 1-1 count that will be assumed here for Crawford. Base is empty and 2 outs, so Jaden Brown, the lefty. That's got to be tough when you were just expecting to come to a ballpark for a nice, easy day, and 2 outs into the game, coach says, get in there. Here's the 1-1. That's inside to Crawford now, 2-1 to the big Sumrall catcher. Again, the winds have been pretty quiet over the weekend. Boy, this Pirate Park looks to be in immaculate shape. 2-1 pitch. That's at the belt buckle, a fastball strike. 2-2 now to Crawford. Should he reach, then Billy Garrity would come to the plate. Garrity leading the Sumrall team in home runs with a couple early on. Bases empty, 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch to Crawford. Breaking ball got a piece of it. Fouled it right back into the chain link fence here. The Pirates of Pearl hosting this game. Pearl, the 6A football state champion. It would appear that the South Panola run has finally come to an end. 2-2 pitch to Crawford. Swung on. Here's a slow roller to third base. Fielded cleanly. Throw across the diamond. And Crawford, although running well for a catcher, is out by a couple of steps. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. The Bobcats go quietly in the first. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Bobcats nothing, and the Rams coming to bat. Let's take a look at the Faith Academy Ram lineup. Jackson Bell. This is the way we have it as of this moment. Now we'll see if, with the injury to Braxton Bell, what changes are made there. But Jackson Bell will lead it off and play right field. He's followed by Reese Ewing, the center fielder. Then again, Braxton Bell, the starting pitcher, was batting in the 3-hole, followed by John Griffin Bell at shortstop. Gabe Shepard, the DH, batting 5th. He'll be followed by Parker Mills, the left fielder. Bryant Andrews playing third base, bats 7th. Peyton Cowart is the catcher for the Rams. He's batting 8th, and Landon Freeman rounds out the order, batting 2nd. So it's Bell, Ewing, Bell, Shepard, Mills, Andrews, Cowart, and Freeman to face the pitching of Hunter Barrett. Hunter Barrett, the man that started the game against 8th-ranked Hattiesburg, didn't get the win that day. It was no decision, but he pitched terrific baseball that allowed Sumrall to knock off the then number 8 team in the country. The defense for Sumrall has Garrity at third, Tanner Morgan at short, Zane Berry at second, and Mason Story back at first. The outfield left to right, Logan Powell, Dennis Jackson, and Javen Williams. Javen Williams, the shortstop, the sophomore rather, making the most out of his opportunity last night. And kudos to the folks at Pearl. Fresh hot coffee, Dunkin' Donuts. What else could you need other than a good baseball game? And Sumrall and Faith Academy, no doubt, are going to provide that. So here we go. Jackson Bell leading it off, the right fielder for the Rams. Sumrall will wrap up its trip to the Mid-Mississippi Classic this afternoon over at Northwest Rankin for a scheduled 3 o'clock start. We say scheduled because you know how it is with tournament baseball. Rarely, unless it's the first game of the day, will it start on time. And the Bobcats didn't get back to their hotel last night until
at least 12:30.
Was it 12:30? After probably ate a little something afterwards.
Yeah.
The Rams will be number 6, the right fielder Jackson Bell.
So here's Jackson Bell. This whole lineup has names that ring a bell. There's 3 of them on the team here for Faith Academy, at least in the starting lineup. First pitch from Barrett is inside, ball 1. 320 down the lines, 345 in the power alleys, and 365 to center, but a blue monster out there. Swung on, tapped foul. Count evens out at 1-1. We mentioned Pearl winning the 6A state football championship. They're in the same district with Oak Grove out of Lamar County. Petal is in that division. Meridian, Brandon, a pretty rugged football district. Here's the 1-1. Outside now 2-1. Although it is cool this morning, it's certainly going to warm up a little better than last night at Jackson Academy. It was a cold one last night. Pitch is high, 3-1. Bobcats certainly don't want to put Bell on, the first batter of the day for the Rams. With no wind to speak of, Sumrall plays him pretty much straight away. Grounded to third. Garrity gobbles it up, flips over to first base. 1 up and 1 down. Jackson Bell out on the 5-3 put out. And that'll bring up Reese Ewing. All of the, as good as all the fields look, this Jackson area has taken a lot of rain over the last 2 or 3 weeks. So all the surfaces are going to be a little soft, and more rain projected for Monday night, which has caused the Jackson Academy game that Sumrall had scheduled for Tuesday in Jackson to be moved to Sumrall. So those of you with a Bobcat schedule, remember Tuesday night's game will be at Sumrall, not Jackson Academy. So here's Ewing now, righty versus lefty, the matchup. First pitch is low, ball one. Dennis Jackson shaded a little bit to right. Dennis Jackson, the center fielder for Sumrall, again a standout wide receiver, has an offer from, I think, every SEC school to be a wide receiver, except Alabama.
Yep.
All the rest of them, though. So Dennis has a big decision to make, and everybody in Sumrall excited about his future. 2-0 the count to the hitter, Reese Ewing. There's a strike on the corner. 2-1 now. Reese Ewing, was that one of the guys from Dallas, the TV show? Was there a Reese Ewing? It seems like J.R. Ewing and all the rest of them. Had to be a Reese Ewing in there somewhere. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Just missed high and away. 3-1 now. And Jaden Brown will indeed bat for himself in the 3-hole. Here's the 3-1. Swung on. Popped up left side. This one will get outside the confines of the playing field over in the batting cage area for the Pirates. Lots of great recreational facilities around the Pearl area. I know that because I've accidentally visited about 3 of them this morning on the way to this park. Here's the 3-2 pitch coming. Swung on. This one's lifted to left center field. Powell tracking it in left, but Dennis Jackson is there, and they run into each other, but it is Jackson that actually gloves it. Boy, that can be troublesome. A good teachable moment about communication in the outfield.
Coming to the plate now for the Rams, number 30, pitcher Jaden Brown.
So Jaden Brown will try to help himself here. A left-handed thrower, but a right-handed hitter. Very much like Cross Sibley of Sumrall. Bases empty, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning, scheduled for 7. First pitch to him, swung on. A little blooper outside first base. Story is there and handles the catch easily. And just like that, the Rams are up and down.
And that's 3 away. No runs, no hits, no errors. Coming left on base. After 1, we're still knotted up 0-0.
No score after 1. 4, 5, and 6 coming up for the Bobcats in the order in the bottom of the first inning. Termite Control Specialist is a locally owned company that has served the Pine Belt for 55 years. We all know the major damage that termites can cause. Sometimes you don't even know they're there. Termite Control Specialist, specializing in termites, but offer pest services too, including pre-treatments for new construction. Give them a call at 261-5200. That's 601-261-5200. Termite Control Specialist, proud to support Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So Jaden Brown will loosen to face the likes of Billy Garrity, Hunter Barrett, and Mason Story in the top of the second inning as the Rams and the Bobcats trying to stay undefeated. Sumrall with a 4-0 mark coming in here today. The Rams 6-0. And later on today, Sumrall is scheduled to play a private school out of Huntsville, Alabama. Several different locations around the city of Jackson taking part in the Mid-Mississippi Classic. Then Sumrall will actually host that Adidas tournament next weekend. Later in the season, Oak Grove will have another little tournament, but that'll be about it and before the Bobcats get into district play, which are the games that really count toward who goes to the playoffs and who doesn't. So here's Billy Garrity. We get a little bit further into the season, we'll be giving you batting averages and more statistics, but early on those numbers can be skewed. So
Waiting off the top of the second for Sumrall, Third baseman number 31, Billy Garrity.
So lefty versus lefty, the matchup here. Steve Cooley takes to his coaching box at first base. Larry Knight down there at third, still bundled up as it is a cool Saturday morning. First pitch from the lefty is a bender in there for a strike. Play Garrity to go the opposite way a little bit. Garrity with 2 dingers on the year so far. Jaden Brown delivers another one that's outside or high, either one. 1-1 now to Garrity, the quarterback of the Sumrall football team. Just a junior, so Garrity's got another year left on his contract. Here's the 1-1 coming up. Inside, and it hit him. Boy, that one missed badly. So Garrity gets plunked and takes his spot down at first base. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Hunter Barrett. Barrett normally playing the hot corner of third base, but on the hill today.
Now batting pitcher number 7, Hunter Barrett.
In a little bit at third is Brian Andrews, the third baseman for the Rams, and Barrett takes an off-speed strike. 0-1. You can probably see beyond the right field fence, the backside of part of the stadium here at Pearl, where a lot of that magic happened this past fall. Brown looking right at Garrity at first. Swung on. This is ground ball to second. Could be 2. To second for 1. On to first. Garrity, or check that, Barrett beat it out. So Garrity out. Barrett reaches on the fielder's choice. There's 1 away. And that'll bring up Mason Story.
Now batting for the Bobcats, first baseman number 6, Mason Story.
Sully Clark will come in to run for the pitcher, Hunter Barrett. So Sully's in.
At first base, number 28, Sully Clark.
Here's Story now. He had a couple of big hits last night in Sumrall's win over MRA. Big right-handed hitter. Sully Clark, the speed merchant over there at first. First pitch to Story, who has quite a big strike zone. He takes strike 1. Ram pitching not overpowering, but terrific changing speeds and nibbling the corners. Play him to pull just slightly here. Check swing, a pitch that's high and outside. Last night's game, 3 hours and about 5 minutes, maybe something like that.
About like that. About like a normal baseball, Sumrall baseball game.
Long game. A lot of throws over to first base. A lot of conferences. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Story tried to go the opposite way and missed it. 1-2. Sumrall batting in the top of the second. No score between the Bobcats and the Rams of Faith Academy out of Mobile. Runner going, 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, throw to second base. Sully Clark there in plenty of time. So Story out on strikes, but Clark in scoring position, and it'll be Tanner Morgan's job to bring him home.
Now batting for the Bobcats, shortstop number 27, Tanner Morgan.
So Sully will be on the move at second base, and they are really playing Tanner Morgan deep in center. Swung on right back to the pitcher. That was a line drive that was caught at his ankles. He hit it well, but right at him. So Tanner Morgan is out on the line out. And the Bobcats strand a man. So we go to the bottom of the second inning. And Hunter Barrett will face hitters 4, 5, and 6. John Griffin Bell, Gabe Shepard, and Parker Mills, the scheduled hitters. Support your high school and give the hometown advantage when you dine at Buffalo Wild Wings in Hattiesburg. Anytime you go into Buffalo Wild Wings, just tell them what school you go to and they'll give 10% of your bill back to the school. The menu is loaded with go-to crowd pleasers and a fast break lunch special daily so you can feed your family and support your team in a fun family atmosphere. You can see the store for details. Buffalo Wild Wings, just off of I-59 at Hardy Street in Hattiesburg. Kelly Sander along with producer engineer Jeremy Thompson on a sun-soaked Saturday morning in Pearl, Mississippi, a suburb of Brandon. At least that's what they say in Brandon. So John Griffin Bell, the shortstop, leads it off.
Stepping to the plate, shortstop number 11, J.G. Bell.
Larry Knight just had a conversation with the home plate umpire about something. But back into the dugout as we get ready to go to the bottom of the second inning. John Griffin Bell, first pitch, popped him up. I mean, a moonshot. Zane Berry camping underneath it here. He puts it away, almost overran it, but makes the catch for the first out.
Stepping to the plate for the Rams, number 1, Gabe Shepard, designated hitter.
Shepard hitting the DH spot for the first baseman, which is really kind of unusual. Usually those first basemen are big sluggers. Second baseman, my bad. There's a drive. That ball is foul, but got almost all of it. And you see why he's in that DH spot. So it's just a long, loud strike. But you can tell he's really powerful from the waist down. Big, strong legs, which helps generate some power. Next pitch from Hunter Barrett coming up. Swing and a miss. Challenged him with a fastball upstairs. Our good friend Harry Porter back in the booth this morning. Here's the 0-2. Just missed off the corner. Tried to have him go fishing just off the plate there. 1-2 the count. Bases empty, 1 out for Faith Academy here in the bottom of the second. No score. Barrett gets the sign. The 1-2 pitch kind of reached out. One hopper to Zane Berry at second base. He throws over to first. And Shepard is out on the 4-3 put out.
Stepping to the plate, left fielder number 2, Parker Mills.
So here's Mills hitting 6th in the order and defending left field for Faith Academy. Look out. That pitch right out of his hand you knew was troublesome, and he beans Mills. So each team with a hit batsman. And that'll bring up Brian Andrews.
At the plate for the Rams, third baseman number 28, Brian Andrews.
Runner on first, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. A quick throw over to first base. Nice move by Barrett to try to lull him to sleep. First pitch swinging a little looper into the gap in left center field. Rounding second on his way to third is Parker Mills. He will be waved home. The Rams will draw first blood and lead it 1-0 on the 2-out double by Brian Andrews. The first hit of the game nets a run for the Rams. That'll bring up the catcher, Peyton Cowart.
At the plate for Faith, catcher number 15, Peyton Cowart.
He'll be followed by Michael Garcia. Should Cowart reach with 2 outs here in the second. First pitch, swing and a miss. Looks like he actually lost control of the bat with that top hand and quickly goes to the dirt. The Rams have grabbed the lead here in the second. First pitch, here's a drive to left field. Powell tracking it in left, rack a couple of steps short of the warning track. He puts it in his back pocket, and the Rams are done. But they come up with 1 run on 1 hit.
Scored on 1 hit. No errors, 1 man left on base.
So at the end of 2, it's Faith Academy 1 and the Sumrall Bobcats nothing. One of our many sponsors on the webcast, Movie Star Restaurant, is the place for home-cooked favorites in the Pine Belt. Fried chicken, vegetables, macaroni and cheese, meatloaf, mashed potatoes, just to mention a few. Movie Star also the place for all of your catering needs, whether it's birthdays, wedding showers, what have you. Choose favorites from the menu and leave the cooking to the pros. Movie Star Restaurant, Old Highway 11 in Hattiesburg, where they leave no carb behind. Movie Star, proud to support the Bobcats. Coming up for Sumrall will be hitters 8, 9, and 1, Javen Williams, Logan Powell, and Zane Berry. Javen finds himself in the lineup for Sumrall after the injury to Garrett Robbins last night. Robbins running down to first base on a ground ball looked like he might have pulled a hamstring. So Robbins out of the lineup today. So he will lead it off here for Sumrall in the top of the 3rd inning, with the Rams leading 1-0. Now that Harry Porter's in the press box, the secret will have to be kept that there are Dunkin' Donuts in the next room. So the donuts are safe, is that what you're saying? At least for now. Javen Williams leads it off, the right fielder.
Coming to the plate now for the Rams, right fielder number 14, Javen Williams.
8, 9, and 1 to face the left-handed pitching Jaden Brown. First pitch, laced foul outside the line at right field. Boy, Williams came up with just a huge knock last night, a double down the right field line that landed really about a foot inside the line, and they had him shaded a little bit toward left. So it was a big hit for the Bobcats last night en route to that 1-win victory over Madison Ridgeland Academy. Second pitch is a strike right down the 2. 0-2 now. To the leadoff hitter for Sumrall here in the top of the 3rd. Bobcats trailing the Rams 1-0. The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball inside. Called strike 3, and Williams knew it. Second strikeout of the game for Jaden Brown.
Now batting left fielder number 16, Logan Powell.
So here's Powell, who defensively recorded the last out, last half inning. Lefty versus righty. They play him to pull just a little, lots of room in right center field. First pitch to him is low, ball 1. Our home plate umpire today leaves no doubt as to whether it's a ball or a strike, which that's always good from a broadcasting standpoint. The 1-0 pitch. There's a strike at the belt buckle, 1-1. The leadoff hitter, Zane Berry, on deck for Sumrall as the Bobcats bat here in the top of the 3rd, looking to get the goose egg off the board. But you remember both the Bobcats and the Patriots last night started out slowly. Tried to float a bender in there, but missed off the dish. 2-1 now. Sumrall looking for a base runner. In fact, the only base runner, it's still early, but the only base runner the Bobcats have had was when Garrity got beaned last inning. 3-1 now to Logan Powell. Sumrall wore their powder blues last night. They're in their grays today. Will we see the classic whites this afternoon? That's the question.
Doubt it.
No? Swing and a miss. Pitch that might have been low and in, but that fills up the count now at 3-2. Beautiful checkerboard outfield there in center, here in Pearl. Things you can do with a lawnmower. 3-2 pitch, that's inside, ball 4. A no doubt inside pitch. Puts Powell on, and here comes Zane Berry.
Now batting second baseman number 1, Zane Berry.
Berry hit a soft liner to John Griffin Bell at shortstop his first time up. Zane got a coif the other day, a nice haircut, getting the hair up off the neck. Pickoff attempt to first base. It was a low throw, and going with movement was Logan Powell. Smart base running by Powell. He's able to get into second with no attempt. If you're going to steal on lefties, that's the way to do it. First movement, take off. Don't be indecisive. Here's the pitch to Berry. Floater that missed. 1-0. I think Zane thinks he got away with one there. That looked pretty good from here. Zane Berry, who plays defensive back on the Sumrall football team, probably one of the best pure athletes now in the Sumrall student population. That one's high and outside, 2-0. So he's got a hitter's count here at 2-0. Definitely a fastball count. Dennis Jackson on deck. Runner fakes going to third. Ground ball to short. Bell again. Throw over to first base. And Berry is out. But he advances Powell to third.
Now batting number 5, Dennis Jackson.
2 outs in the inning, and here's Jackson. And boy, Dennis Jackson is some type of athlete. You've seen him play football. He made some catches that were really nearly unbelievable. Billy Garrity, it's nice as a quarterback too, just to be able to throw it up there and know that the guy's going to catch it. 2 outs, runner at third for Sumrall. The Bobcats trailing the Rams 1-0 as Sumrall bats in the top of the third. First pitch to DJ, swing and a miss. Jackson normally hitting toward the bottom of the order, 7 or 8 hole, in the number 2 spot in game 1 here today. The 0-1 swing and a foul tip. So he's behind now 0-2 just like that. Should he reach, then Graham Crawford would come to bat. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Jackson down on 3 straight pitches. That is the third strikeout. Third strikeout of the game for Jaden Brown. And the Bobcats have yet to record their first hit. They've got a walk and a hit batsman, but those are the only base runners they've had. And Hunter Barrett will now face hitters 9, 1, and 2, Michael Garcia, Jackson Bell, and Reese Ewing. Premier Orthopedics, a proud sponsor of Sumrall Baseball, serving patients of all ages. Dr. Burns, he's a board-certified joint replacement surgeon, and Dr. Tommy Bayless is a renowned sports medicine specialist. Actually, Tommy Bayless was quite an athlete when he was in high school at North Forest. They share a common philosophy, spending time with the patient, identify the problem, and then offer the best treatment on a decision made together with the patient. Premier Orthopedics, 296-2100, 601-296-2100. In a game zipping right along, which of course is the kiss of death once you mention it, Michael Garcia, Jackson Bell, and Reese Ewing will be the offerings for the Rams here in the bottom of the third. The Rams leading the Bobcats 1-0.
Now batting for Fade, first baseman number 9, Michael Garcia.
Garcia playing first base. Barrett for his third inning of work. First pitch to Garcia is right down the middle in position A for a strike. Here's the 0-1. Swung on, chopper toward third and into the hole. Between third and short, Garcia leads off with a single to left field. That'll bring up Jackson Bell, who grounded out to Garrity at third his first time up. Crawford again going out to his pitcher to talk to Hunter Barrett a little bit.
Jackson Bell.
Now just two Bells in the lineup. Braxton Bell was the starting pitcher, faced two Bobcats. Got them both out, but then went out with an arm injury. Hope it's not serious. But boy, the way he grabbed it, usually not good. Throw again over to first. Rams batting in the bottom of the third, trying to extend a 1-0 lead over our Sumrall Bobcats. First pitch, here's a shot to right center field. That drops for a base hit. Williams will pull it down and get it into second base. Station to station on the bases. Garcia moves to second. Jackson Bell with a single. So runners on first and second, no outs. And we'll see if Matt Seymour, the coach of Faith Academy, implements the bunt here or lets him swing away. Number 2 in the order, you'd figure Reese Ewing can handle a bat pretty well. He flew to center field his first time up. Dennis Jackson was moving to his right in front of Logan Powell to make that grab. Faith Academy 6-0 on the year. But remember, this is the time of year, and as Larry Knight said in our Buffalo Wild Wings show a couple of weeks ago, the pre-district schedule is where guys compete, including pitchers compete for jobs and so on, so that you hopefully have your team sharpened to a fine edge when it comes district time, the games that count for making the playoffs. First pitch here is a breaking ball, swung on and fouled outside of first. Reese Ewing, the center fielder, batting second in the order for Matt Seymour. Faith Academy here in the bottom of the third. Hunter Barrett a little uncomfortable with something there, backed off of the pitching plate, ready to get back to work. So no sign of a bunt there by Reese Ewing. Beautiful breaking ball, just nibbles the corner for strike 2. So Hunter Barrett ahead in the count here, 0-2. Bobcats would love to see a crisply hit ground ball right at somebody here. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. That'll work. Foul tip strikeout, and Reese Ewing is down for the first out of the inning. That is the first strikeout. So here's Jaden Brown, who hit a little soft little liner to Mason Story in his first at bat. He's showing bunt now. And that argument continues over whether a sacrifice bunt with 1 out is acceptable or not. I know about half the coaches say it is. Most other coaches will say they won't bunt unless there's 0 outs. The cleanup hitter is on deck. It's a bunt. They'll go to first base for the out. So the sacrifice works. The pitcher helps his own cause by getting people over. Runners on second and third will bring up the cleanup man, John Griffin Bell, the shortstop.
Shortstop, J.G. Bell.
So runners at second and third with 2 outs. The cleanup hitter with first base open. And they play him to a pole just slightly. Dennis Jackson shading a little bit toward left. Breaking ball. Man, what a nice pitch. Dropping right in there for a strike. Always good to see Harry in the press box, Coach Porter.
Always good to be here.
Nice to know that they let you out of the maximum security Twilight home this morning to taking a little bit of baseball. There's another bender in there for a strike. 0-2 to John Griffin Bell. So pitcher's advantage here, and Bell's really got to hit now what Barrett wants to throw, being in an 0-2 hole. Fastball off the edge, 1-2 now. And that ball nearly got out of the glove of Crawford. He kind of snow-coned that one, and I think that warrants a discussion. Faith Academy being 6-0 and having the reputation it does, the Rams don't beat themselves, so you don't want to do anything to aid the cause. 1-2 to the cleanup hitter, John Griffin Bell. Runners on second and third, 2 outs for the Rams here in the bottom of the third. The Rams trying to extend a 1-0 lead. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball missed away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sumrall fans now beginning to shed their jackets and blankets as the sun out in full force has been, but now beginning to do its job and warming things up here in the bottom of the third inning. The 2-2 pitch. Another breaking ball. Called strike 3. Right at the belt buckle, and the cleanup hitter Bell goes down on strikes. They did manage 2 hits but couldn't plate any runs. They strand them at second and third. So we've completed 3 here at Pirate Park. The Rams lead this ball game 1-0, and Sumrall will send the meat of the order 3, 4, and 5 up to the plate. Crawford, Garrity, and Barrett to face Jaden Brown, who was called upon in rather auspicious circumstances when the starter Braxton Bell faced 2 Bobcats, recorded 2 outs, but then immediately pulled himself off the mound and grabbed his right elbow, which is never a good sign. So we go to the top of the 4th for a scheduled 7. And a shout out to William Carey University this morning. William Carey for over 100 years has equipped students with the skills they need to succeed personally and professionally, whether you're a young adult just getting started in life or an experienced professional seeking to advance your career. Explore the many opportunities at William Carey University. So here's Crawford now. He grounded to third his first time up, and Bobcats looking to get busy offensively here. They don't have a hit yet.
Will be number 34, Graham Crawford for Sumrall.
Jaden Brown has done a terrific job, especially being called upon with no warming up, and now Crawford wants time at the plate. Steve Cooley. Here's the first pitch. Swung on, another grounder to third. Throw it across the body, across the diamond, and it pulls the runner off, or pulls the first baseman, Garcia, off the bag. Is that ruled a hit or an error? E5, is that correct? Okay, E5 is the call. And that's a tough play to throw it across your body like that. And Crawford will get a pinch runner.
Cross
Sibley, the freshman.
Now running at first base for 25, Cross Sibley.
So here's Garrity now. Garrity got hit by a pitch his first at bat. So let's see if the Bobcats can generate some offense here in the top of the fourth inning, serving as the visiting team in this game after being the home team last night. Garrity looking over to the third base coach's box where Larry Knight flashes a series of signals. Very quickly, Sibley down to second base, and he's there. So the Bobcats have been very active on the bases once they've gotten there. They just can't, the old adage that you can't steal first base. So Sibley in scoring position with no outs. Garrity the cleanup hitter, so unlikely that he would put a bunt down. But here's the 1-0. Garrity is swinging and fouls it right into the chain link in front of us. A ball and a strike to the junior third baseman, Billy Garrity, playing third today because Hunter Barrett is pitching. Normally Hunter Barrett will play third. The Major League Baseball season begins in March this year. March, believe it or not. Normally it's that first weekend in April, but now the game's beginning in March. Sibley coming over to Larry Knight to get some instructions while there's a sermon on the mound taking place. You like that? Close to Easter, you have to slide that one in there, you know. One and one. The count to Garrity. Hunter Barrett, the aforementioned Barrett, is on deck. Garrity led this Sumrall football team to the playoffs for the first time in some years this past season. The 1-1 pitch, high and inside. 2-1 now to Garrity. Again, a hitter's count. Garrity wants anything to the right side that would move Sibley over to third. Anything to the left might be problematic, especially if Sibley is running. He's not forced anywhere. Sibley's going to be very careful because last night in the bottom of the seventh inning, he led off the inning with a walk, and at that time represented the winning run for Sumrall, only to get thrown out on a snap throw, swing and a miss, as Garrity really tried to uncork that one. Two and two the count. See how Garrity plays it. Swung on and popped. Pitch that was probably out of the zone and popped it out of play right here behind us. Home of the Pearl Pirates. And the Bobcats will put some more miles on the wagon this afternoon as they'll head over to Northwest Rankin. 2-2 the count. Here's a drive to center field, but playable. Back there is Ewing to glove it. Here comes the throw to third base. Sibley tagging and getting to third anyway. So Garrity out on the fly, one away with a runner at third. Tying run is at third, and here's Hunter Barrett.
Now batting, number 7, Hunter Barrett.
Really, considering that Ewing was continuing to back up, for him to be able to get enough momentum on that throw to make it on one hop, that was a heck of an effort. Simply had to be going full speed ahead. So here's Barrett hitting 5th in the order. Can help his own cause with a base hit or a sac fly here. Sumrall batting in the top of the 4th, trailing the Rams 1-0. First pitch gets away from the catcher. Here comes Sibley. He will score uncontested, and the Bobcats have tied this game at 1. The best type of plays offensively, the uncontested ones.
How we won last night.
Same situation. All kinds of room in right center for Barrett. He reached on a fielder's choice his first at bat. Here's the 1-0. That's off the plate, 2-0 now. So the Houston Astros will begin their World Championship defense here coming up at the end of March. Major leagues get underway. Here's the 2-0. That one's there. Swung on. Ground ball towards short. Bell's got it. Gobbles it up. Throws to first base. And Barrett is out. Base is empty. 2 outs now. And that'll bring up Mason Story, who struck out swinging his first at bat.
At the plate for the Bobcats, number 6, Mason Story.
So who will be in the World Series? Already talking about that. Story hitting 6th in the order. First pitch to him is high and outside, ball 1. Of course, it's not an official World Series unless the Detroit Tigers are in it. So we've had very few official World Series over the years.
Well, I'm betting on the Nationals this year.
You're betting on the Nationals every year, Harry. There's a strike at the knees, 1-1. Story trying to get on base via the hit. The only runners that Sumrall has had today are either hit batsmen, walks, or errors. There's a little looper out towards center field, and that drops for a base hit. So we were prophetic in what we said. Story is on. And that'll bring up Tanner Morgan, who lined out to the pitcher his first time up. And it was a great job by Jaden Brown to kind of reach down at the shoe tops and snag that ball. Story's done a good job out of that 6-hole this year. Sumrall has tied it. Here in the top of the 4th inning, we're knotted at 1. First pitch is a strike. Ooh, I thought he was going to go up at the right hand, but low is the call. Ball 1 with Javen Williams on deck. Barrett will face hitters 5, 6, and 7 when Sumrall comes out to defend in the bottom of the 4th. Larry Knight again with a series of communications from third base. The Bobcats have been successful when they have run stealing. Here's a little looper out toward left field. Shortstop tracking. Left fielder is there. Parker Mills handling that one as he called off the shortstop backtracking, and the Bobcats are done in the 4th.
On the 3 away. 1 run scored on 1 hit, 1 error. 1 man left on base.
So Mason Story did get the Bobcats off the goose egg as far as hits go. And they do score 1 on 1 hit, and they strand Mason Story. So we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Rams and the Bobcats tied at 1. Well, it's tax season. April 17th, by the way, is your tax cutoff deadline this year, April 17th. And if you don't have anybody that you have a relationship with and doing your taxes, consider Martin's E-Tax in Sumrall. It's locally owned and operated by Michael and Jenny Martin. Fast, efficient, and friendly service. Open year-round, actually, for your business taxes as well. Right across from Sumrall Town Hall. 758-0733, 758-0733. I'll have to try them out. My tax firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe last year didn't come through like they normally do. 2 years ago, they said dog food was tax deductible. Last year, they came back and said no. So Javen Williams in right field, Dennis Jackson in center, Logan Powell in left, and here's Gabe Shepard facing Hunter Barrett in the bottom of the fourth inning. As Sumrall now has tied the game at 1. First pitch swinging and fouled out of play to the right side. One thing we can tell you with 100% assurance today, this game is not going to be rained on. Here's the 0-1. Swung on. Here's a drive to right center field, but Javen Williams is there waiting on it. He pulls it down for the first out of the inning.
Now batting number 2, Parker Mills.
Here's Mills. He was hit by a pitch and wound up scoring the only Rams run. Mills hitting 6th in the order for Coach Matt Seymour. Righty versus righty on the matchup. The first pitch is a little short, ball 1. Hunter Barrett is always going to be around the plate. And when you're that close to being around the plate, you'll sometimes get hitters to swing at pitches that aren't necessarily strikes. Although good discipline being shown here by Mills, and he's ahead in the count 2-0. Sumrall fans off to our left over here. Here's the 2-0 offering. Inside, nearly hit him. 3-0 now. That would have been the second time that Mills got plunked. The 3-0 count, no doubt taking, and looks at strike 1. Bryant Andrews, the third baseman, on deck for the Rams as they bat here in the bottom of the 4th. The 3-1 pitch. That's low. Ball 4. So he's on for the second time today. But that is the first walk. First walk that Barrett has issued. Andrews was the man of the hour. His first at bat put a double to nearly the wall in left center field, which plated Parker Mills. That was the only run the Rams have to this point. 1 out here in the 4th as a throw over to first keeps Mills close. It's next weekend at this time. As we mentioned, Sumrall will be hosting the Adidas tournament, but the NCAA basketball tournament will unveil its field of 65. Mississippi State generally considered a bubble team in basketball. Ole Miss and Southern will be done with their respective conference tournaments, you would think. Of course, there's so many postseason tournaments now. The NIT, the CBI. Bunt being shown here by Andrews. Nice job by the pitcher Barrett, purposely throwing over to first base. That allows the Sumrall defense to adjust to a potential bunt. Now going back into the batting stance, and again a throw to first base. Andrews will be followed by Peyton Cowart, the Rams catcher who flew to left his first time up. Again showing bunt. Bobcats don't look to be too concerned defensively as he pulls back up into the stance. There's a pitch out. Thought he was going, but he does not, and it's ball 1. Glad that you're with us on this beautiful Saturday morning. Another day that was not promised, remember. 1-0 pitch, breaking ball on the corner for a strike. 1-1 the count. to Bryant Andrews. Faith Academy out of Mobile, Alabama. Breaking ball. Here's a little floater out toward left field. On the move is Logan Powell to glove it, and he had to get there in a hurry. So 2 outs, and it'll be up to Peyton Cowart. If the Rams are to take the lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-1 ball game. Pitchers both doing a great job. The Rams have 3 hits. Sumrall just 1. So just to the left of second base is Dennis Jackson is where they'll play Cowart here, as he has a jewelry issue that needs to be addressed. And Cowart comes to bat now, righty versus righty. Again, a quick throw over to first base. First pitch to Cowart, hitting 8th in the order, upcoming, but another throw to second base. Of course, every time you do that, the runner stays a little bit closer to first, which would give Graham Crawford a better chance of throwing them out should they be on the move. First pitch, breaking ball. There's the throw to second, but that sailed on him. So into second goes Mills. One and 0 the count to Cowart. And with 2 outs, Mills will be running on any type of contact. 1-1 the count, or 1-1 the score rather. 1-0 the count to Peyton Cowart. Pitch from Barrett, breaking ball, strike on the corner. 1-1 now. Michael Garcia, the first baseman, is on deck. He singled his first time up, wound up being stranded at third. Already in the bottom of the 4th inning, and the game is right at an hour old. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, fouled, popped out of play right behind us. So 1-2 the count. Sumrall will have hitters 8, 9, and 1 to the plate in the top of the 5th. Between games, no doubt, the Bobcats will get a little bit of chow and then head over to Northwest Rankin. Northwest Rankin had a pretty good football season this year as well. 1-2 pitch. Swung on, foul tip. That might have, I know it got Crawford. I think it got the home plate umpire as well. Thank goodness for the protective gear. Might have hit him in the upper chest. Left side, and Larry Knight checking to make sure that home plate umpire is good. Umpires take so much abuse, man. It's a tough job. Remember Ron Polk, the Mississippi State coach, saying one time he took a cell phone out to the umpire and said, "Is this your phone?" And he said, "No, why would you say it's my phone?" It says, "Because there's 8 missed calls on it." 1-2 the count to Peyton Cowart. Barrett being very careful here to the number 8 hitter, knowing that the go-ahead run is at second. Here's the 1-2 inside, throw to third, and he is out at third. Gutsy call with 2 outs. I'm not sure
Hey, that's 3-1.
Why you steal to third when you have a man in scoring position at second? But great throw by Crawford. And Cowart will get a fresh set of balls and strikes when he goes up to bat this next inning. So no runs on no hits. We've completed 4. And Sumrall and Faith Academy are tied at 1, and still a discussion there at home plate. Jaden Brown comes back to work. As we mentioned, he'll face Williams, Powell, and Berry here in the top of the 5th inning, and this game scheduled for 7. La Torre's Fine Foods, a sponsor of Sumrall Baseball. It's what small town America is all about. La Torre's is a quaint family restaurant. Hometown cooked meals like steaks, chicken, salad, sandwiches, po' boys, and burgers. If you like the lunch, try the country lunch plate, which includes a salad and a drink. Open Sunday through Thursday, 10:30 to 9. Saturday and Sunday, 10:30 to 10. La Torre Fine Foods, 1143 Highway 42 in Sumrall. One more game later this afternoon, and we'll have it for you. And we'll have it for you on the Bobcat Internet Work. We'll have every game for you all season long. So Javen Williams will lead it off. Facing the lefty Jaden Brown, and Javen Williams struck out looking his first at bat. And he knew it when that bender came across the plate.
Steps to the plate for Sumrall, number 14, Javen Williams.
Javen leading off the top of the 5th. We mentioned the game zipping right along. Both pitchers doing a great job. Here's a little flare out toward right. Second baseman backtracking and gloving that one pretty easily. Second baseman out there to make the play, Landon Freeman.
Number 16, Logan Howell.
So 1 up and 1 down on 1 pitch. And here's Logan Powell. Puts the bat out there to maybe bunt his way on, which will get the attention of Brian Andrews at third.
You say the game's going by fast the way it was last night until this hour 6th inning.
It's like I hexed it, right?
Yeah.
Here's the 1-0. Shows bunt again and takes a strike. I don't think he's bunting here. We'll see. Showing bunt, obviously. Here's the 1-1. Swung on. He was swinging. Here's a shot toward right center field. Nice jump on the ball by the center fielder, Reese Ewing, to put that one away for out number 2.
Now batting for the line, Zane Berry.
Zane Berry looking for his first hit of the day. Lined out to short and grounded to short. Base is empty, 2 outs here in the 5th. 6-0 Faith Academy against 4-0 Sumrall. You know, you've heard so much about Hattiesburg in the preseason in the Pine Belt area and the talented players they have, but what about this Sumrall team? Having defeated Hattiesburg and not yet having tasted defeat. 1-0 pitch. The strike on the inside corner. And that junior class has a lot of players on this team. That's off the plate, 2-1. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Rams. 1 run, 1 hit. No errors for Sumrall. The 3 errors that the Bobcats committed last night were all of the throwing variety. That's inside, 3-1. Dennis Jackson would come to bat if Zane Berry reaches. 1 run might be enough the way these teams are pitching and playing defense. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That's off the plate. Ball 4. Zane Berry is aboard with 2 outs. And here's DJ.
Stepping to the plate, number 5, Dennis Jackson.
Dennis is grounded to the pitcher and struck out swinging. 0 for 2. Really got to the baseball game this season late because he was playing on the Bobcat basketball team, which made the playoffs. First pitch to Jackson is low, so he is a little bit behind the curve as far as getting reps goes. And as many football offers as he's had, you know, if you listen to Max Preps and some of these other ones, they seem to think that LSU and Ole Miss are the front runners. There's a pitch that's outside, 2-0. But actually talking to Dennis, he'll say you can't necessarily believe everything you see in print. And I thought everything on Facebook was true. 2-0 the count. And Peyton Cowart calls timeout because Dennis Jackson has a fastball count here at 2-0. And a real speedy Zane Berry at first with 2 outs. Sumrall trying to do some work here with 2 outs in the 5th. There's that 2-0 fastball that Jackson took at the knees. 2-1, and Berry anchored at first base. Little flip throw over to first, almost over the head of Michael Garcia. You can't necessarily believe everything on Twitter either, Harry Porter. Here's the 2-1. Swung on. This one's popped to the left side. Shortstop Bell backing up, but it'll be the left fielder that gloves it. That's Parker Mills. Jackson is out, and so too are the Sumrall Bobcats in the 5th. No runs, no hits. There was a walk and a man left on.
No hits, no errors, 1 man left on base.
Because didn't you tweet, Harry, that the donuts in the next room are gluten and calorie free? I was going to say I don't know that that's that I would believe that. So we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and Hunter Barrett will face hitters 8, 9, and 1, Cowart, Garcia, and Bell. And actually, speaking of Harry Porter, this reminder that Covington Ridge Retirement Home in Collins is quiet and cozy, just like home. They honor their seniors and believe in dignified care. They also pride themselves on exemplary care to love and spoil their residents. Every private suite is spacious, approximately 500 square feet, with brand new granite countertops and an outdoor patio. We have tons of activities and entertainment for the residents to enjoy. There's also availability. CovingtonRidgeRetirement.com. CovingtonRidgeRetirement.com. So here we go. Bottom of the 5th inning. Scheduled for 7. Just about, you look at, really the Taylorsville game was the only game that really wasn't in too much jeopardy. But the Bobcats have responded very well under pressure. Having beaten Hattiesburg 4-3 and then MRA last night when they were down by a bushel basket of runs. So here we go. Cowart to face Barrett. First pitch swinging, and he pops this one up behind home plate. Crawford will try to sniff it out, but it gets over the fence. Sumrall will play another private school this afternoon from Huntsville, Alabama. That's a scheduled 3 o'clock start. on the network. But again, sometimes in tournaments, those the later the day goes on, the more they're behind schedule. Time called now at the plate. Cowart's only at bat. He has flown to left field. So here we are in the 5th inning and only his 2nd at bat. And that's what happens when you get into these pitchers' duels. One, 3, and 1. The line score for the Rams. 1 and 1 for Sumrall with no errors. Breaking ball away. 1 and 2 now to Peyton Cowart with Michael Garcia, the first baseman, on deck. He singled his only at bat. Larry Knight signaling the pitches in from the dugout to our left. There's a breaker off the plate. 2 and 2 now. Plenty of sunshine today. You can get into trouble on days like today, though, because it's cool, so you don't think you're getting a sunburn. But when you go home, here's the 2-2 pitch. Inside, 3 and 2. Payoff pitch coming now to the leadoff man here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Big pitch coming. Swung on. Here's a shot by Garrity at third base and into the corner. Rounding first is Cowart. And he will pull the parachute after making a big wide turn. A long single into the corner. Has the Rams in business here to begin the bottom of the 5th inning. And big Michael Garcia will come to bat as Brandon White is the courtesy runner.
Courtesy runner now at first base, number 4, Brandon White. At the plate for the Rams, number 9, Michael Garcia.
Garcia, a big V8 cylinder, an 8-cylinder model here at the plate. Even though batting 9th in the order, calls timeout. So we'll see if late in the game the Rams go to the bunt here out of the number 9 man, which conventional wisdom would certainly call for a bunt here with a number 9 hitter. And the Bobcats looking to defend the bunt. There's a breaking ball strike to Garcia. Although the first time up, Garcia certainly looked like a very able hitter as he smacked one into the hole between short and third his first at bat. Throw to first, runner caught leaning, and Bobcats almost rung him up. Brandon White, the courtesy runner. Bunt is shown, another breaking ball. Not a very good effort, frankly, and that ball is fouled outside of first. Actually lowered the bat head toward the ground when actually you want to keep the bat head up in a bunt situation. So now Garcia is in an 0-2 hole, which is good news for Sumrall. A strikeout would be nice here. Rams batting in the bottom of the 5th inning, deadlocked with Sumrall 1-1. The 0-2 pitch. Outside. 1-2. If any of the Bobcats have been throwing, we can't see because their bullpen is down here to our left and is blocked from our view as the runner's back in time. Of course, you wouldn't think with the way that Hunter Barrett is playing that there'd be need unless he gets up in pitch count. 1-2 pitch here. Here's a little floater out toward right field. Javen Williams is there. He's got a beat on it and puts it away for the first out of the inning. And Jackson Bell is up now. There's a situation as Larry Knight comes out to the mound to discuss things. There's a situation, though, we're playing team baseball, that you've got to get that bunt down. as opposed to a fly ball to right field, which does not move the runner. And lots of times, you hear kids say, well, I don't like to bunt. I don't want to bunt. Well, it's not about you. It's about the team. But that was a critical situation where a bunt needed to be put down. And from your number 9 hitter, you would think that might take some extra reps in the cages to practice that. And it hasn't hurt the Rams yet, but a runner at first with 1 out keeps the double play in play, and that would end the inning. There's a foul ball at the plate. Jackson Bell showing that slash, what they call it, where you show bunt and then pull the bat back, which in some youth leagues they have outlawed now, because if you have an infielder charging, anticipating the bunt, and then you rear back and swing it and hit them dead in the face, then you got problems all over the place. And attorney's cards handed out like breath mints. Here's the 0-1. Actually, throw back over to first. Rams batting in the bottom of the 5th inning. Tied with Sumrall 1-1. Seeing a double play here would end the inning for the Rams. Or if the runner was at second with 1 out, the double play is not even in there. Here's a slow roller to third. Garrity will go to first for the play.
Have we rolled a double play this year yet? We doing Hasburg?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So there, Cowart gets advanced to second. The ball was hit so slowly, Garrity's smart play was to go to first. If you take the chance of trying to get the lead runner, might not get him. And here's Ewing, who has flown to center and struck out. On the day, Barrett only has 2 strikeouts. But he's trusted his defense. And as a unit, it has done its job. First pitch is outside, bounces in there for ball 1. Should Ewing reach, then Jaden Brown would bat. Jaden Brown batting in the 3-hole. So Braxton Bell, the starting pitcher, is now going to that spot. That's interesting. Larry Knight shifting Javen Williams further to right, and Dennis Jackson shading over that direction. For the lefty, Reese Ewing. 1-0 pitch. Swung on. Here's a drive to center field right at Dennis Jackson, but it gets over his head. This will score a run. The runner rounding first base trips and falls. Ewing with an RBI single. And the Rams have grabbed the lead with 2 outs. It had double written all over it, but Ewing tripped over the bag. But it scores the courtesy runner Brandon White from second base. And the Rams now have grabbed a 2-1 lead. Jackson started in on it, but quickly knew that he needed to be going backwards rather than forward. And Braxton Bell, the starting pitcher, then came out onto the on-deck circle, which is where Jaden Brown, who actually wound up starting, and here comes Jaden Brown again. Okay, so we're back to where we thought we were.
Now batting number 30, Jaden Brown.
2 outs in the inning, but the Rams have grabbed a 2-1 lead. And honestly, even if Dennis Jackson started backward instead of forward, I'm not sure that he would have gotten that one. That was a screamer over his head. First pitch to Jaden Brown is right down Broadway for strike 1. Looking ahead to the Sumrall 6th, the meat of the order again, Crawford, Garrity, and Barrett. They'll have to produce, most likely their last at bat, unless this goes extra innings. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball away, 1-1. The Rams batting in the bottom of the 5th inning. Game 1 of the day for Sumrall. Throw over to first. And they got him this time. Nice pickoff. He timed it just right.
And this 3 away. This was unscored on 2 hits. No errors.
So a run on 2 hits.
2-1.
We go to the top of the 6th inning. And again, the meat of the order coming up for Sumrall. Columbia Medical Supply, a supporter of Bobcats on the Air. Medical supplies and all your equipment, including hospital beds, power wheelchairs and scooters, mobility equipment, accessories. A lot of them are available for in-store pickup, or you can get them delivered. Columbia Medical Supply also specializes in equipment for sleep apnea, and they have a respiratory therapist on staff. Most insurance is accepted. Call Columbia Medical Supply at 736-0843, 736-0843 on the Highway 98 bypass in Columbia Medical Supply. So as we head to the 6th, Kelly Sander along with producer engineer Jeremy Thompson ready to go. But the Sumrall Bobcats have got to get these bats going. Just 1 hit on the day, and that belongs to Mason Story. That was in the 4th inning. Sumrall's had other runners, but they've been by walks or hit batsmen. And sincere thanks to the great hospitality here at Pearl. And we'll head to Northwest Rankin this afternoon for a scheduled 3 o'clock start. You'll just have to kind of monitor the network and be looking at the Bobcats social media to kind of keep you posted as to when the official starting time will be, scheduled again for 3 o'clock. So here's Crawford. He is grounded to third, reached on an error, and scored.
Picking up the top of the 6th for the Bobcats, number 34, Crawford. Crawford the batter.
So Jaden Brown back out there to work again. The first pitch to Graham is on the corner for a strike. Garrity in the on-deck circle. Billy barreled one up his last time, but hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark. The 0-1 pitch to Crawford. Breaking ball, short. A ball and a strike to the Sumrall catchers. The Bobcats staring at a 2-1 deficit here in the top of the 6th. Game just an hour and a half old. Crawford calls time at the plate. I want to thank all of our sponsors for making the webcasts possible. Not just home games, but on the road as well. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ooh, wow, that one sailed way high. 2-1. Crawford, being a catcher, runs pretty well, but when he gets on base, a courtesy runner is implemented. Lots of times not because catchers can't run well, it's just it helps expedite the game by getting their equipment on and getting ready to play defense. Here's a swung on, pop fly to the infield, left side. Both short and third. It'll be Bell at short. John Griffin Bell gloves it, and there's one out.
Stepping to the plate, third baseman, number 31, Billy Garrity.
Garrity's been hit by a pitch and flown to center. Lefty versus lefty here, and Hunter Barrett needs to be careful because the left-handed hitter, anything that's lined that way in the on-deck circle, he is in the line of fire. First pitch is high, ball 1. Jaden Brown was called into service after just 2 hitters in the first inning. Swing and a miss. Boy, when Garrity swings, I mean, he swings it. He makes the decision he's going to get after it and gets his money's worth. 1-1 the count to the Sumrall third baseman. Jaden Brown with that glove just below the eye level. Throws a breaking ball that's way outside. 2-1, which puts Garrity back into a fastball count. Hunter Barrett has pitched well, but the Bobcats have just been stymied at the plate so far. The 2-1 pitch coming. There's that fastball, and Garrity ropes it towards second, playing a deep second. Nice play at second base by Landon Freeman, and they throw Garrity out by a step. He hit it hard, but good defensive work by Freeman.
Number 7, Hunter Barrett.
Records the out, and here's Barrett, who's reached on a fielder's choice and grounded to short. Part of the Mid-Mississippi Classic. First pitch to Barrett. That one sails high and away. Faith Academy out of Mobile. Providing the opposition. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball away. 2-0, as opposed to the Faith Hill Academy in Star, Mississippi. I'll be here all week. Don't forget to tip your waiters and waitresses. 2-0 count coming up. There's a shot. Barrett ropes it to left field, but right there to put it in his glove. And they had him played perfectly. Parker Mills almost expected that ball. And the Bobcats go up and down 1-2-3. So just one hit still by the Bobcats. We'll see what the Bobcats do pitching-wise, but hitters 3, 4, and 5 will be coming to the plate for the Rams. As Sumrall is down to its last 3 outs, Hunter Barrett back on the hill. We want to thank our sponsors, including our sponsors. If you get a chance and need their goods and services, we hope that you will tell them that you appreciate them putting their money where their mouth is, and putting the Bobcats on the web, including Forest Funeral Home. If you need to make immediate funeral arrangements would like to plan for the future, Forest Funeral Home is there to assist you in every aspect of your planning and to help ease your burden. Give them a call at 264-1816, 264-1816, or you can visit them on the web at forestfuneralhome.net, forestfuneralhome.net. So Jaden Brown, who was up to bat when Reese Ewing got picked off at first, he comes.
A 16 up here now. Original pitcher.
It is the starting pitcher, Braxton Bell, back in the game. That's interesting.
At the plate for the Rams will be number 16, Braxton Bell. And
Bell was the starting pitcher for the Rams, recorded the first 2 outs. He got Zane Berry on a safe liner and then Dennis Jackson on a grounder. But then after throwing 2 pitches to Graham Crawford, he pulled himself out of the game with an arm injury. But he's back in the lineup now. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Swing and a miss. So this is his first at bat. We'll see who the Rams put out there on the hill in the 7th to try to close it out. Here's a high pop fly to the shallow outfield. Zane Berry camping underneath it. He handles it for an out. So 1 away, and that'll bring up John Griffin Bell, the shortstop. The Parade O'Bells.
Now batting number 11, John Griffin Bell.
Have to check and see how many of them are related. You know, cousins, brothers. Bell hitting in the cleanup spot. He has popped to second and struck out looking. They appeal on the check swing. Ball one. 2-1 ball game. The Rams leading the Bobcats in a pitcher's duel here in the bottom of the sixth. Here's the drive to left field. And over the head of Logan Powell up against the wall. This will be a stand-up double. Well, it should have been a stand-up double, but sliding into second is John Griffin Bell with a one-out, two-bagger.
At the plate, designated hitter number 1, Gabe Shepard.
Boy, Shepard, look at this. This guy looks strong or what? Good grief. Yes, been at the leg press machines for sure. He has grounded to second sharply and flown to right field. He's 0 for 2. Bell doesn't have to go anywhere at second. He's not forced anywhere. So they would ideally love Shepard to take it to right field somewhere. Hunter Barrett, who has gone the distance for Sumrall and has pitched well, but Bobcats have just been handcuffed at the plate. Here's the first pitch. Outside, ball one. Nice job by Graham Crawford to keep that one in play. Boy, catchers by far have the toughest job on the field, don't they?
Yeah.
You got to be rugged back there, those legs up and down every pitch. Righty versus righty here as the Rams bat in the bottom of the sixth. Swung on, there's a shot. Foul outside of third. There you see the strength of Gabe Shepard. One and one the count. One out here in the bottom of the sixth. Sumrall trailing Faith Academy 2-1. Again, called the Mid-Mississippi Classic, but a lot of Alabama teams participating. One and one the count from Barrett. Pickoff play at second. Tanner Morgan did a good job to glove that ball because the pitcher just throws to a general area and hopes that the defender can make the catch. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, it's a 1-1 count to Gabe Shepard, hitting fifth in the order. Patiently leans forward to look at the breaking ball that's outside, 2-1. Parker Mills, who's actually been on twice today for the Rams, he's in the on-deck circle. Bobcat defense certainly doesn't want the added pressure of putting up 2 runs in the seventh. There's a breaking ball, and there's right field. Dennis Jackson on his horse, but actually making the catch is Javen Williams. Throw to third, gets away, breaking toward the plate. The run will score because I think he was automatically awarded a run when perhaps that second, or the relay throw perhaps shouldn't even have been made. So Shepard is out on the fly.
Now batting number 2, Parker Mills.
Base is empty. Faith took the lead 1-0 in the second inning. The Bobcats tied it with 1 in the fourth. But the Rams have added a single tally in the fifth and one more here in the sixth. Tries to put the bunt down and pops it foul. So base is empty, 2 away. Mills was hit by a pitch and scored in the second. He walked and was rung up trying to steal third. That was in the fourth inning. 3-1 Rams. Sumrall looking ahead to the last chance seventh. It'll be Story, Morgan, and Williams, the scheduled hitters. 0-1 pitch. Low, a ball and a strike. The 1-1 effort. Low again. 2-1. Should Mills reach, then Bryant Andrews would come to the plate. Andrews having a 1-for-2 day with an RBI. The 2-1 swung on, a little shot into left field. There's another base hit. Second one of the inning, and the third time today that Mills has been on base. You know, the 2 and 3 hitters last night for MRA were real problematic, or maybe it was 3 and 4. And now it looks like the middle of the order here, Parker Mills and Bryant Andrews are seeing the pitching better than others. And this may be it for Hunter Barrett. But again, he's pitched well. Bobcats just haven't been able to generate any offense. He has 2 strikeouts on the day. And when you look at walks or hit batsmen, he's got 2 of those. So Billy Garrity. Garrity will come in to try to finish this up here in the 6th. And Hunter Barrett will just go back to his usual stomping grounds over there at third base. As the Rams bat in the bottom of the 6th inning with Parker Mills on at first and 2 away. Garrity would not be a long-term solution. And we'll try to get a report for you on Garrett Robbins' status before the next game this afternoon. Robbins went out of the lineup last night trying to run out a ground ball to third, and about halfway down the line pulled up lame and was grabbing that hamstring back behind one of his quads. So we'll see what the status is with Garrett Robbins. Garrity can go over the top, he can go 3/4, he can go sidearm. So he'll come in and try to close the door, and then the Bobcats will have to get at least 2.
Sumrall will be number 31, Billy Garrity. Taking over at third base, the 7th, Hunter Barrett.
And a lot of people don't know that Billy Garrity has a Hollywood film credit. In the movie, yes, in the movie The Hollow,
Oh, yeah.
which was released
Family
last
Sumrall.
October. Billy Garrity played, of all things, a high school football player. Didn't have any speaking lines, but was right there.
It was in there, though.
The glory of the big screen. That's right. Did you know, Jeremy, I was in that?
Were you?
Yeah, I wasn't. Like I needed anything else to make me look bigger than a movie screen. So here's Andrews. A double and a fly out. Garrity from the stretch, from the sidearm, swung on. Here's a little chopper toward third, but that's foul. And a sarcastic cheer from the Ram fans as the coach fielded that one. Larry Knight again flashing the signals, the pitch calls from third base. Garrity from that, it's considered a stretch position, but you see it's not kind of 3/4 where you can check that runner at first. Throw to first base it is. The state high school basketball tournament continuing at the Big House not far from here, the Coliseum in Jackson. The Lamar County schools involved. I think the Oak Grove girls play at 1 today in the quarterfinals. I think that's the first time Oak Grove's girls have made it to state. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss to Andrews with Peyton Cowart in the on-deck circle. Cowart with a big single, his last at bat. Rams leading the Bobcats 3-1 as the Rams bat in the bottom of the 6th inning. Again, the last chance 7th for Sumrall will be Story, Morgan, and Williams, the scheduled hitters. Throw again to first. Garrity keeping Parker Mills close. Mills, a fleet-footed outfielder. Bobcats have only been able to muster one single. That was Story's. Garrity thinks the inning is over, and the check swing is appealed and given to the hitter. 1-2 the count to Bryant Andrews, hitting 7th in the order for Coach Matt Seymour. And the Faith Academy Rams out of Mobile. Throw again to first base. And you play in Sumrall, it just aggravates the fire out of a lot of other teams. The Bobcat pitchers throwing to different bases. I know the MRA guys were on the Sumrall pitchers last night about that. And now Garrity off of the pitching plate. One and two the count to Bryant Andrews with 2 outs in the inning. There's the pitch out. Sumrall knew he was running. Throw to second is in time, and that's that. Nice call by the Sumrall staff.
And that's 3 away. 1 run scored on 2 hits.
1 run on 2 hits, so we go to the last chance. 7th for Sumrall.
Here at Pirate Park, and Faith Academy on top, 3-1.
I think the next game isn't even scheduled till 12:30, so they're pretty close to being on time here, as Eli Giles will come in to try to put this away. Eli Giles, the new relief pitcher for the Rams. The right-hander coming in to try to close the door and perhaps garner a save. And he'll face 3 right-handers as it is scheduled now: Story, Morgan, and Williams. So Eli Giles, jersey number 27, into the game for the Rams. Bobcats have to come up with 2 to continue it. And Story, the way he's been swinging a bat, it's a good guy to have in the leadoff position. Thumbs up to the maestro today, playing some great tunes, including Aerosmith. Of course, people kind of argue that Steven Tyler is he still alive? He's looked like he's been dead for years, but so Eli Giles, big flame-throwing right-hander, will come in to try to shut the Bobcats down. 3-1 Rams. Looking at the line score: 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for Faith Academy. 1 run, 1 hit for Sumrall. Steve Cooley sporting the knicker type pants over there at first, and Larry Knight with the pull down varieties at third.
The Rams will be number 27, Eli Giles. Taking out the 7th for Sumrall will be number 6, Mason Story.
Story struck out swinging in the 2nd. He singled in the 4th. 1 for 2 on the day. Again, the Bobcats, to extend this game, have got to come up with at least 2. First pitch from Giles is a laser. It was too high, ball 1. And if it's too high to Story, it's way up the ladder, because Story's about, what, 6'2", 6'3"?
At least.
That pitch is low. So 2-0. And picking up a stick for the Bobcats is Seth Mitchell. He's on deck. 2-0 pitch. That one splits the plate. 2-1 now to Mason Story, the first baseman. Boy Giles is getting the signal and rocking and firing. Here's the 2-1. Low. 3-1. Lots of times you hear about how hard guys can throw, but if it doesn't go over the plate, doesn't matter, does it? And one of the best pitchers ever, Greg Maddox, was always 84 to 87, something like that, but could hit a dime from the outfield. Here's the 3-1. That's ball 4. Story is on with a leadoff walk. And again, here's Seth Mitchell. He bats for Tanner Morgan.
Running down at first base, number 28, Sully Clark.
Sully's in there to run for Story at first base.
At the plate now for Sumrall, number 3, Seth Mitchell. Mitchell, the batter.
So Mitchell comes to the plate. Javen Williams is out there on deck. Seth, just a sophomore. You know, when you get up into the 6A classifications, it's more, tends to be juniors and seniors, but in the mid classifications, not unusual to see a lot of sophomores in the starting lineup. So here's Seth Mitchell off the bench here to try to keep the Sumrall threat going here in the top of the 7th. The Bobcats down by 2. Eli Giles came in and threw 5 pitches, 4 of them out of the zone, which puts Story, now Sully Clark, in there running for him at first base. First pitch is high and inside, ball 1. So Seth Mitchell gets the call. The 1-0 pitch. That one's there on the inner part of the plate. A ball and a strike now. Javen Williams on deck as the Bobcats work through the bottom part of the order trying to stay alive here. The 1-0 pitch swung on, and this one is lifted foul out of play down the right field line and into the kind of infield area down there in the bullpen for the right side. 1-1 the count to Seth Mitchell. Swung on. Here's a ground ball to short. This could be trouble. Flips to second for 1. Over to first. Double play. A 6-4-3 double play is a shot to the heart of the Bobcats. Base is empty now and 2 outs. Nice footwork by John Griffin Bell at short to round off the baseball. Javen struck out looking in the 3rd and popped to second in the 5th inning. So the Bobcats down to their last out here in game 2 of this tournament. First pitch is a strike on the corner. Next game scheduled for 3 o'clock. At Northwest Rankin High School. That'll be the location of the private school out of Huntsville, Alabama, providing the opposition. And there's strike 2 as Eli Giles just rearing back and humming the fastballs. The 0-2 pitch. Got a piece of it. Actually might have nicked the catcher Peyton Cowart just a little. So the Bobcats now down to their last strike. Should he reach, then Logan Powell would come up to try to keep the threat alive. Oh, 0-2 pitch coming to Javen Williams from Eli Giles, but Giles will reset. The 0-2 pitch. high, 1-2. This game started about 5 after 10, so we're at an hour and 50, which kind of evens out last night's marathon. The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball too high, 2-2. So for the time being, a little bit of interest in this at bat by Javen Williams, who started in an 0-2 hole and has worked it back to 2-2. Swung on, fouled into the screen. Staying alive. Javen replacing the injured Garrett Robbins, and has made the most of his opportunities. 2 outs, bases empty here in the last chat in 7th. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. And the Bobcats, no runs, no hits. There was a double play. Nobody left on base. The final score in Game 2 of the Mid-Mississippi Classic. The Faith Academy Rams 3, the Sumrall Bobcats 1. Our next webcast will come your way at approximately 3 o'clock this afternoon, when the Bobcats' next game in the tournament will be played over at Northwest Rankin High School. You can follow the Bobcats on social media to find out how close to 3 o'clock that game will get started, but that's the goal, and we'll have it for you here. Bobcats on the web. For producer engineer Jeremy Thompson, I'm Kelly Sander. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you this afternoon. Bobcats beaten here in Game 2 3-1 by Faith Academy to suffer their first loss on the year and drop to 4-1. Game 3 of the Mid-Mississippi Classic scheduled for 3 o'clock. We hope to see you then. You've been watching Sumrall Bobcat Baseball.